Welcome back, Internet. It's nice to see everyone again. Hello to all the freaks and creepy perverts out there who watch my videos. Before we touch on all things Real Madrid related today, because I want to get onto Mbappe, I want to talk about Alaba and Mendy. I also want to do a little bit of a Rodyrgo update. But before all that, I completed my 3,500 kilometer bus journey from Lima to Santiago, and I want to bring it to you. Now, I know people today have very short attention spans, so if you're not interested and you just want to skip ahead to the Real Madrid part, I will maybe timestamp or put some chapters in the video so you can skip ahead. It'll probably be 2 or 3 minutes into the video, but for those of you who are going to watch, here you go. And I did film everything on my camera on my phone, so I know the quality is not the best. I didn't bring my GoPro, but I don't think you're here for that, are you? You're here for this guy, for the the charisma and the sense of humor and the charm of. All right, calm down, Aaron. Enjoy the video, everyone. Now, we begin today's mammoth 30-hour bus journey at a bus station, funny enough, in Arica in the north of Chile. And before getting on the bus, I was a bit peckish, so I went and got myself a hot dog. But what the shit in hell was this? It looks like a cake. It was just covered in mayonnaise. So I left still pretty hungry. Hungry but excited for the beautiful scenery I was going to see out my window. But I got to say, for the first half an hour, it was basically just plastic. I don't know if recycling is a thing over here, but there was a lot of plastic outside. Once we got away from the city, though, it was just beautiful. I mean, Chile, if you've never been here before, it's just mountains, deserts. I mean, it's a beautiful country to do a road trip. Now, we'd stop at these towns and cities along the way to pick people up. And honestly, I would say Chile's beauty is really in the natural landscapes rather than the towns. Although the wildlife was beautiful, I would find out later, though, how important these stops were because they were the only times we could get food. So you literally had to leg it to an empanada stand to try and find a sandwich or an empanada, weirdly, before the bus would leave you. So they were quite useful. Now, as you might know, this is a very coastal country, so we spent most of the journey following along the Pacific Ocean to some beautiful views. But eventually the sun began to set, and I think I got about 6 hours of sleep or so. But when I woke up, I looked out the window, and it was exactly the same view as when I went to sleep. I couldn't believe it. Now, there's more security checks in this country than there was in Peru, where I was previously. I think 3 times we stopped off at security checkpoints where everyone on the bus had to get off. They scanned all of our luggage, and then we all had to get back on. They confiscated an apple that I bought. That was annoying. Now, I tell you something though, they bloody love wind turbines in this country. Oh, I couldn't get enough of them. They were everywhere. They're like sheep back home in the UK. So, as the scenery turned more green and the buildings came into view, I was approaching the capital city of Santiago, and look how happy I was. Honestly, I couldn't contain myself. My crazy journey from Lima to Santiago was coming to an end. I was overjoyed as well. I love traveling by bus. What a load of shite that was. Jesus, 30 hours? Why didn't I take a plane? So, that's my adventure to Santiago. Thanks for watching. And let's get into today's video then, because I know that's really why you're here. We'll start off with Mbappe then. He will be our new number 10 going into next season. Now, this is a club decision. Apparently, Mbappe didn't ask for the shirt change. Obviously, for marketing reasons, he wears number 10 for France. Obviously, Modric is leaving, so our number 10 is now available. Personally, I don't love the move. I'm a bit of a traditionalist in that sense. I think the number 10 should be the creative player in the team, the most skillful or the one with the killer pass. Or, I think number 9 is a perfect number for Mbappe. I would have loved Gula to have been given that number. It would have also given him a lot of confidence going into next season. But on the other side, if that number 9 is now given to Gonzalo Garcia for next season, I will also be in favour of that move. So overall, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Now I'm standing up for dramatic effect for the next piece of news. And look at my lovely little Airbnb here I've got in Santiago. If anyone is in the capital for the next few months and you want to go watch a Real Madrid game together, let me know. We can go out for a drink. But anyway, moving on then. So Alaba and Mendy have both been put up for sale by the club this summer. But so far, no one seems interested in buying them, which isn't too surprising considering Alaba's wages and Mendy just not being a football player at this point. Apparently, the club tried to do a deal with Alaba to terminate his contract early because he's on ridiculous wages. But he wants to stay for one more season and he wants to get fit and be useful. I mean, if we can get him fit, we do need centre backs going into next season. So I'm not so disappointed in keeping Alaba. I'm more disappointed in keeping Mendy because I believe we gave him a contract extension not too long ago. So he's actually got a deal now until 2028. I don't know how we're going to get rid of him because I think he's going to be third choice next season. So he is just wasting a spot right now. But this is the problem that Madrid have got when you pay. I think Madrid's transfer policy in the last 15, 20 years has been so good We signed so many superstars for relatively cheap and turn them into superstars. We also make a great deal of money on selling players. I've got a video coming up on how well our academy has done this summer in terms of generating revenue from player sales. We also, I mean, we sold Morata for like 70 million, Llorente, Marcus Llorente to Atletico for like 50 million. I mean, we're very good at the transfer market. The one problem I have with Real Madrid is we do pay a lot in wages, and sometimes we put players on very high wages and then we can't move them on. Gareth Bale, Eden Hazard. Now it's Alaba's turn. So yeah, it's kind of the club's fault. But if anyone does want to buy those players, they are for sale. Now, the final piece of news I've got here, then, and it's one in which I'm quite happy to read, and I've got here written down, according to Cadena Ser, Xavi Alonso has informed Dani Ceballos that he doesn't want him to leave and that he is part of his plans. I think about a week ago, I put out a video because there were reports that Real Madrid had agreed to put him up for sale for 20 million euros. If Real Betis could come up with that cash, he would have gone. Apparently, Xavi Alonso has told the club that he wants to keep him and he needs him, which is, I mean, it's obvious at this point to me because if with Bellingham out at the start of the season because of his injury, we could, if we lose Dani Ceballos, be going into next season with only 4 midfielders. It's not sufficient, and we already can see how difficult it is to find a player like Xabi Alonso on the market this summer. So I don't see any way we should be even considering letting Dani Ceballos go unless we were going to be able to get a McAllister in, or or an Odegaard even, or something like that. But it's just not going to happen. So I think we should definitely keep Dani Ceballos for next season. So I'm very happy with this piece of news. That's everything then. So thanks for watching, everyone. I know it's kind of slow news day at the moment around here. I mean, the players aren't even in training at the moment, so there isn't that much to talk about. I'll try and come up with some interesting videos over the next few weeks, but until the season starts, it is what it is. But thanks for watching. If anyone is coming back to these videos, I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.